Good afternoon, and thank you for being with us here today. This is the 5th grade CogAT screener training for the Highly Capable program. 5th grade CogAT screener. The CogAT screener is an approximately 45-minute online assessment that identifies highly capable students for participation in learning enrichment achievement program services in their general education classroom. Who tests? The CogAT screener is a universal screener administered to all students in 1st grade and in 5th grade, unless a parent or guardian chooses to opt out. The testing window is October 21 through October 25th, and the makeup window is the following week. Testing resources. We have created a few testing resources to help guide you through administering the screener. You can find these materials in Canvas by selecting the Assessment and Research portal and then selecting CogAT. On Canvas, you are able to access all of the training materials, including the EPS testing guide, CogAT screener at a glance that gives you an overview of the testing process, and this PowerPoint presentation. On the right side of the screen, you're able to see a snapshot of the Data Manager webpage and a link to the Data Manager website. This website is where you will create sessions, monitor progress, and can find additional resources under the Help button. This slide provides the key points of contact for any technical difficulties, issues, or questions that may arise. Each person listed on here, including myself, Crystal Gill, is ready to assist with any challenges you may face. Please feel free to contact Lindsay, myself, or Data Manager Customer Service Center for any issues that may arise. If your issue is related specifically to computer hardware rather than the web-based platform such as Data Manager, please reach out directly to our IT department for assistance. We are happy to help any way that we can. Overview of the day. Follow these steps to ensure a smooth and successful experience for you and your students. Before you begin to test, ensure you have the following testing materials: 1 pair of headphones per student Chromebooks, 1 extra just in case of any technical issues, scratch paper and pencils, 1 of each per student, a copy of a testing incident report, and do not disturb signs. Next is preparing the room. Arrange desks for good proctoring and so students are encouraged to stay focused and avoid socializing during testing. Then hang your do not disturb signs on your doors. Next on overview of the day is creating a test session. Create a test session for the CogAT screener in Data Manager before signing in the students. You will see more details on slide 8. Roster report. Complete the testing incident report if any testing anomalies occur. If a student did not complete testing or was absent, please send an email with the students' names and ID numbers to highlycapable@everettsd.org. Create a test session. Log in. Please log into the Data Manager platform ahead of time. Please don't wait until test day to verify that you can log in. If you do not have an account, please send me an email to kgil@everettsd.org so I can create an account for you. If you have previously used the Data Manager platform, sign in using your email address, which is your district email, and your password. If you do not remember your password, please select the Forgot Password option on the sign-in screen and follow the steps to reset your password. After you have successfully logged in, you will see a proctoring tab on the right-hand side. Go ahead and click that proctoring tab. The proctor session will then open up. You will then be located on the Manage tab. This Manage tab will display any current and expired test sessions. Create testing sessions. To create a session, follow the instructions below for each area. Test event. You'll select CogAT Screener 5th grade. Grade. Select 5. Test group. Select CogAT Screening Form 7 or CogAT Screening Form 8. Either option is okay. Level is level 11. Battery subtest. Verbal analogies. Test admin type. Select Audio English. One thing I did want to stress that did come up last week for the first grade teachers is you will only have to create one session. After completing each subtest, you're going to click Continue Testing All, and by clicking Continue Testing All, you'll be able to move into the next subtests. So I just want to stress you only have to create one session. The next step is creating the session name. Please use the following format: school abbreviation / teacher's last name / test type, which is CogAT screener / grade, which is 5th grade. I have also provided an example below. On number 8 draw screen, choose on. Then step 9, click Create Session. After your session is displayed on the Created Sessions area, it is ready for you to proctor. Before you move on, please verify that the grade, level, and test type are correct before starting the exam. Before starting the test, this is a good time to remind your students about a few things. The subtest that they are about to start, that they should stay quiet and seated during and after testing, to raise their hands for help. When we are testing, our eyes are only on our own screen. Also let them know that we are unable to help students answer any test questions. They will need to make their best educated guess. We are able to help only if they're having technical issues. Just an example, their computer turned off, they're trying to select a specific answer and it will not let them. That's when we can go ahead and step in and problem solve from there. But unfortunately, we are unable to answer any context-based questions. Chromebook checklist and troubleshooting. Here are some tips regarding troubleshooting student Chromebooks. When you open up a Chromebook, press the volume key to adjust the volume. Then plug in the student's headphones. When the headphones are plugged in, look for the headphones icon and adjust the volume if needed. To open up Data Manager on a student's Chromebook, you're going to click the Apps button on the lower left-hand side of the screen and select HMH Data Manager. After clicking Data Manager, a sign-in screen will appear on the student's Chromebook screen. Now you're finally ready to start testing. When your students are ready to begin, double-click on the CogAT screener session that you created. Make sure that you're selecting your session and not a session that belongs to another teacher. When you click on your session, another tab will appear within Data Manager. Please note that after you complete each subtest, a new tab will appear with a brand new session code. Please take note of all of these session codes. You will find the session code needed to log in students on the example provided on the right upper side of the screen. There are 3 subtests, and each subtest will have a unique session code. So I do recommend that you write the session codes on the board so that students can be ready to log in. Starting the test, students log in. Students will start logged out of their Chromebooks. When they're logged out, they're able to see the Apps menu located on the lower left-hand side of the screen. They will then click Riverside Data Manager. Then on their screen, there will appear a sign that says Take a Test. Have the students click Take a Test. On the right-hand side of the screen, you will see an example of what they will see. They're going to go ahead and enter their student ID number, which is their lunch number, and they will also enter their session code. The session code is the same code that you just previously created. They will then click Sign In. After that, a pop-up will ask you to verify the student's name. Please make sure the student verifies that their name appears. Students will now have to wait for your approval. Have them raise their hands if they do not see their names appear on the waiting screen. Starting the test, approve students. Once the students are able to successfully log into Data Manager, Their names will begin to appear under the Waiting for Approval section on your side of Data Manager. If you see any students that are missing or not showing up in the Waiting for Approval section, that means they are having trouble logging in. So this is a good time to go ahead and walk over to the student and help them log in successfully. If, for whatever reason, the student is still unable to log in, please contact Crystal or Lindsay. After all of your students appear in the Waiting for Approval section, you can now go ahead and click Approve All. Monitor the sample items. Students will start the sample items first. Sample items are your opportunity to make sure that the students can hear the audio and understand the instructions. Remind students to raise their hands for help. Remind students that they may replay directions as needed. Actively monitor by walking the room and monitoring the progress in Data Manager. Look for students who might look confused or moving slowly. Remind students to raise their hand if their headphones are not working. As you can see in that red box, you'll see that student number 1 is in test sample question 2 out of 5. Student 2 is in question 2 out of 5 as well, and the status column is basically where you can monitor their progress. Monitor student progress. Watch the status column for student completion, time remaining, and monitoring students that are moving very fast or very slow. One thing to note is to provide scratch paper for the quantitative section only. I have provided a table that you can verify which subtest gets scratch paper, and it is only the quantitative section. It is 1 piece of paper per student and 1 pencil per student. The end of a subtest. When a student finishes early, the student will click Finished on the review page to end the subtest. Students must confirm by clicking OK, or they can click Cancel to go back and review their answers. Please note that students cannot go back once they do click OK. Students will then see a thank you page. Teachers will see the student status change to completed in Data Manager. If for whatever reason you don't see them show completed on Data Manager, but you do know that they have finished that subtest, go ahead and click Refresh Status, and that will fix that glitch. You will then direct your students to click End. On the other hand, if the student time expires, a few things will happen. Students will get a pop-up indicating that their time has expired. Students will then click OK. Students will then see a thank you page. The teacher will see the student status change to completed in Data Manager. Please then direct your students to click End. Once status is complete, click Continue Testing All. Once all of the students are finished with their first subtest, which is verbal, and show a status of completed, you are ready to move on to the next subtest. In order to move on to the next subtest, you must click Continue Testing All and then click OK. When you click OK, a brand new session code will appear on a new tab. Once all the students are finished with the second subtest, which is the quantitative, and show a status of completed, you are ready to move on to the next subtest. In order to move on, you will have to click Continue Testing All. After you click Continue Testing All, click OK. Then again, a new tab will appear with a brand new session code. Once you are finished with the third and final subtest, which is nonverbal, you will then click End Testing All. Please make sure to only click End Testing All when all students have completed all 3 subtests and they all show a status of completed. On the other hand, if you want to take a break, please try not to take a break in the middle of a subtest. Instead, click Continue Testing All after completing a subtest, then click Exit All. You'll have to make note of the current session code. It will automatically kick all of the students out of the subtest, and they will have to see their Data Manager login screen. To resume testing, students will log in using their ID number and the current session code, which is the code of the test that they did not yet complete. Make sure you note which test that you left off on. Then you can resume your subtest. Testing is complete. Congratulations! After the students complete all the 3 subtests for the CogAT screener, go ahead and select End Testing All and then OK. Complete the testing incident report if any testing anomalies occur. If a student did not complete testing or was absent, please send an email with the students' names and ID numbers to highlycapable@everettsd.org. Testing emergencies and incidents. An incident is anything unexpected that might happen. You can see a list of common incidents in your testing guide, but just to name a couple, an incident could be a power outage or the computer malfunctioning. Please note, prioritize student safety. Check your testing guide for technology troubleshooting tips. Again, please try not to take a break in the middle of a subtest. If you must leave the room in the middle of a subtest, follow the instructions below. Click Exit All if, and again only if, you are in the middle of a subtest. You will then have to create a new session. Please see slide 8. The only thing that will change from slide 8 to what you're going to enter is the battery subtest. You will have to select the subtest that the students did not yet complete. To resume testing, students will have to log in using their student ID and the new session code that you just created. Q&A. Please follow this guidance regarding newcomers and makeup tests. Newcomers. Newcomers are exempt from completing the CogAT screener. A newcomer is defined as a student who has been in the U.S. for less than 1 year. Now, this is different than the 4-month rule followed for the early literacy screener. However, if a student wants to take the screener, regardless of how long they have been in the country, they are welcome to do so. We just want to eliminate putting the student in a stressful situation if they don't have the English proficiency to be able to follow directions and answer the questions. Makeup tests. Schools are responsible for completing their makeup tests if students have been out due to illness. These can be completed in a small group by a paraeducator, coach, or other available staff members. The makeup window does close on November 1st for 5th grade.